Is the Dubai real estate market overheated in 2025? How can you make money in the fastest growing real estate market in 2025? Today, I would like to share a lot of useful information with you. We'll go through the top 5 best areas in Dubai for investment. We'll look at the numbers. We'll also get information about upcoming infrastructure development, which projects will be developed and what makes them so attractive. Investors from all over the world. Also, at the end of this video, there will be key information for those considering the best projects for investment or for rental purposes. Let's get started. So, it's well known that Dubai's real estate market is currently a stable market, unlike many other countries and megacities around the world. Why do so many people prefer Dubai? I've highlighted several key reasons. One is its stable economy, which ranks among the top 10 most stable and best economies in the world as of 2025, with a GDP growth rate of 4.4% and a forecast of 5% for 2026. There's also the stable exchange rate of the dollar to the dirham, which hasn't changed for over 20 years, 0% profit tax, no corporate tax, and the enjoyable lifestyle the city offers, a certain way of life that can meet any needs of any client, resident, or tourist who visits Dubai. So I'd like to give a brief introduction. At the end of the fourth quarter of 2025, yet again, sales numbers have broken records compared to the previous year. For example, the total value of transactions in 2025 amounted to more than $160 billion, which is 28% higher than in 2024. What is the reason for this? This is due to certain political changes in countries around the world, including in Europe, as well as increases in tax rates. Many people prefer to move and transfer their assets to Dubai, and in particular to the United Kingdom. Many investors, over 10,000 millionaires, and according to 2025 data, they moved to the Emirates and transferred their assets. The increase in tax rates in India, the instability of economic development in Canada, and many other reasons together show what we are seeing today. The total transaction volume amounted to more than 186,000 units. This is 18% more than in 2024. This once again proves that the Dubai real estate market is currently the most stable asset, particularly as an investment. In this slide, I would like to show you the top 5 districts that demonstrate the highest demand in terms of sales volume. First of all, I would like to highlight the GVC district, which ranks first in terms of transactions. It is centrally located in relation to all of Dubai, with a rounded pizza-like shape. A large number of residential properties are being developed there in the mid-range segment, and it also offers a convenient location with easy access to the area. From downtown and Business Bay via Al Khail Road, Al Khail Street, and also via Hessa Road, you can reach the Dubai Marina area in just 15 minutes. Its convenient location, the development of road infrastructure, and the overall growth of the district's infrastructure allow it to take first place in terms of transactions. So, in second place, we have the Business Bay district. The location is situated right here. There are numerous business clusters, office spaces, buildings, commercial real estate, and residential properties. In terms of ratio, it's about 60 to 40. 60% is commercial, 40% is residential stock. The residential stock is developing, many projects are being built, and it firmly holds second place. But I would also like to note that in the near future, there will be investment opportunities in commercial real estate, since many commercial properties are already outdated, and the area needs new developments. So for those considering investments in commercial properties with predictable returns, you can expect a 9 to 10% yield from rental income and an average growth of 25 to 35%. During the construction period, you can consider commercial properties in this area. The third location is Wadi Al Safa. This area is located just 10 minutes away by car along the highway, Al Ain Road, which allows you to reach Business Bay and downtown in just 10 minutes. I should also mention that the Blue Metro line will pass through this area and its construction has already begun. It will start from the Creek Harbor district and pass through residential areas ending in the Academic City area, which is located right across from Wadi Al Safa. This is a residential district, you could say. a district for students, for young people who rent studios, apartments, or one-bedroom units here. And they also study at Academic City. Dubai Investment Park is another residential area that is gaining momentum due to its potential and infrastructure development. In particular, it has a very convenient location and easy access to major highways such as Al Hail Road and H. Mursukim Road, Al Basha South. This is the southern part of Dubai, closer to the new Al Maktoum Airport, where, as is known, the investment volume amounted to $35 billion. For the development of the airport and the area's infrastructure, including its logistics infrastructure. Therefore, as is known, in the near future, part of DXB Airport will be transferred to Al Maktoum Airport. And in this regard, the nearby areas are developing by leaps and bounds. Project handovers and construction are ongoing. In the first half of 2025, about 40,000 residential units were delivered. That is, 40,000 residential units have already been completed in 2025. The projected supply for 2026 is 83,000 units. Also, about 100,000 units will be delivered in 2027, meaning the peak will be in 2026 to 2027. What does this tell us? These are not just numbers. I would like to point out that the Dubai Land Department is directly connected with the Department of Migration, and they have data on the number of expats who have received residency and are living in Dubai. Based on these figures, they allocate a certain quota to developers, the number of square meters they are allowed to build in a given year. That's why this entire process is absolutely controlled. It is also known that already in 2025, the population of Dubai has exceeded 4 million people. And by 2030, it will reach around 5.2 to 5.5 million people. Based on this data, a certain amount of housing is built, a specific number of residential units that will be available for rent. For a specific expat who actually lives there, moves with their family, and builds their future. Based on this data, we can see that the real estate market is stable and shows steady growth. Of course, we need to look at the districts in more detail because not all areas have the same number of properties. We also need to examine the properties themselves more closely because obviously with such a volume of projects, a certain stagnation and a slowdown in construction are to be expected, and as a result, delays in project completion. In this regard, you can contact us, and as specialists, we will conduct a detailed analysis, develop a strategy tailored to your needs, and provide you with options that are as appropriate and suitable as possible for your wishes. I would also like to briefly add a few words about our company. Nefestat is an international real estate agency with offices in Dubai and Moscow. We operate in more than 40 destinations across Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Europe, the United States of America, and many other countries. In particular, in the United Arab Emirates. We offer a full cycle of A to Z services. We provide legal support. Everything starts from property selection to commissioning, assistance with furnishing, renting out, or reselling the property. Information about the Golden Visa. It is well known that when purchasing real estate in the United Arab Emirates, there is an option to obtain a residence permit. This is an Emirates ID visa for either 2 years or 10 years. When purchasing ready property starting from 1 million dirhams or $273,000, you can apply for a 2-year visa. If you want to consider a 10-year visa, you can also purchase property starting from 2 million dirhams. That is $545,000, and you can obtain residency for yourself and your family members. The difference between the 10-year and 2-year visas is that with the 10-year visa, you are not tied to an employer. There is no need to stay or be present in Dubai every 6 months, which is different from the 2-year visa. Also, according to the new government regulations, there is an additional support program for holders of the 10-year visa. In case of any force majeure situations abroad, the Emirates can send an evacuation flight for you. This is an additional privilege that strengthens and provides a certain level of security for holders of this option. Briefly about the luxury real estate market. As I mentioned earlier, many wealthy investors are moving, transferring their assets, their businesses, and their families to Dubai. In particular, citizens of the United Kingdom, other European countries, Canada, and the USA. The raw numbers? In 2025, 3,400 transactions were made for properties worth over 15 million dirhams. This indicates that the demand for real estate, especially luxury real estate, is growing. Prices are also showing an increase. We have a wide range of different offers in the luxury segment in our portfolio. So if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments under this video or send us an inquiry by clicking the link below this video and filling out the form. I will be happy to get in touch with you and provide consultation on any questions you may have, whether it's about luxury real estate or more budget-friendly properties. Rental trends. According to data from the source, DXB Interact, rental trends are only going up. The year 2025 is not over yet, but it is already showing figures of 360,000 properties that have been rented out. I think that by the end of December, this number will reach around 370,000 to 375,000 properties and will surpass the figure for 2024. So, the average rental income, net income, is between 6 and 8% depending on the specific location. As for villas, the figures are more modest, but they are less stable, ranging from 4 to 7%. Unlike many other countries, where the average rate is 2, at most 3%. Major infrastructure projects. Why should you pay attention to this in particular? Of course, if you are considering a property at the construction stage and there is nothing there yet, it's unclear whether its price will increase, whether there will be demand for rent, and so on. That's why you need to pay attention to areas where major infrastructure projects have already been announced or where these projects will pass through certain districts. They have growth potential. But the first thing I want to mention is the already announced information about infrastructure development. This is the first drone taxi in Dubai, and I think in the world, because so far I haven't heard of any equivalents. Dubai is launching the first drone taxis along several routes. So there will be departures from DXB Airport, where a station will be located. There will also be a station in the downtown area and in the Palm Jumeirah area. There will also be a station in the Dubai Marina area. The development of metro stations, according to the RTA, which is Dubai's transport authority, has already begun and construction is currently at its peak. A new third line, the Blue Line. Overall, the metro development plan includes 7 metro lines that will be developed and constructed until 2040, according to the development plan and strategy. This line will run from Creek Station, from the Creek Harbor area, where the master developer MR is building, and will also go to the Academic City area, which is the student district located near the Dubai Island area, for those who are considering options within 170,000 to 250,000 for studio apartments or one-bedroom units with installment plans and flexible payment schedules. After the property is commissioned, you will be able to continue paying in installments. You can consider this area for generating passive income, since after the metro station opens, these areas are expected to increase in value by an average of 20 to 25%. And many students who live in this campus will study at these campuses and live in these same properties. In other words, according to the strategy, they are already developing this area. But this is just one example. There are also areas in a higher premium segment, such as Creek Harbor or, for example, Maidan High Rise. The expansion of Al Maktoum Airport, as I mentioned earlier, involves very large sums. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested in expanding a major logistics hub, an air hub that will be one of the largest in the world. The industrial zone and residential stock are also being developed. Therefore, there is still an opportunity to purchase real estate in a more affordable segment, either for rental purposes or for resale. As construction nears completion, the prices average around $200,000, $250,000 or $300,000 for an apartment. A one-bedroom unit of 65 to 70 square meters comes with a very flexible payment plan. RTA is also working on developing the road infrastructure and is building numerous different interchanges, including for everyone. The well-known Hesse Street, which used to be notorious for heavy traffic and congestion, has been expanded, with several new lanes and overpasses added. This, in turn, increases traffic flow and accessibility to residential properties and areas such as JVC, Arjan, Science Park, Dubai Hills, and so on. So once again, I want to emphasize that the Dubai government is not standing still. They are moving forward hand in hand. With the development of infrastructure and the expansion of the city, they are improving the road network, logistics, metro stations, air travel, and so on. This says a lot. Nimbia Solar Park is a significant and ambitious project, a new state-of-the-art park with a capacity of more than 3.8 gigawatts of electrical power, which will be strategically built in the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Solar Park area. It is located not far from the downtown center. In turn, this is a driver of cheap green energy for the city, industry, and the growth of energy reserves for new clusters. Again, by the way, in terms of development, and in addition to the development of logistics for new facilities, the energy sector is also developing, which in fact fully covers the needs of the residents and users of this city, and in particular, these areas. That was a brief overview. According to information on the Dubai real estate market for 2025, for those considering investment options, there is still an opportunity to enter the market, but at the same time, there is a strong need to get detailed advice because there are areas that are showing growth and there are areas that are still undervalued. And it still makes sense to enter those with the expectation of an average growth of 20 to 25% during the construction period. And then renting out the property, renting it out long-term to receive passive income at 7 to 8%, where I am sure 100% no other asset, no other city will show such numbers. This was Alibek with you, and I'll see you in new videos.